What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yoon. You're watching the TF Movie Show. This is just Webster's. We're talking about the Transformers live-action movie franchise. This is episode number 50, and in this episode, we're here to talk about the upcoming Transformers live-action Beast Wars film that is currently being written by James Vanderbilt. Of course, it's a Paramount/Hasbro production, and therefore expands the Transformers cinematic universe, which would bring the Transformers live-action film installments to 7 films. It's something I'm very, very excited about. Now, I'm sure you've read the title of this episode, and that is, I don't care about Beast Wars. I don't care about Beast Wars. I really don't. It's true. 100% accurate. It's true. I do not care about Beast Wars. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, hey, Alex, how can you not care about Beast Wars and still be excited about Beast Wars? Well, that's highly possible. It's highly possible, and I'm going to explain why in this video. Now, before anybody gets upset, triggered, or offended about how I don't care about Beast Wars, I'll just start by saying that everybody is entitled to their own opinions, okay? I don't care about Beast Wars how some G1 fans don't care about Beast Wars. I don't care about Beast Wars how some Michael Bay fans don't care about G1. I don't care about Beast Wars how some G1 fans don't care about Michael Bay's films. It's the same thing, and everybody's entitled to their preferences, opinions, and tastes for their Transformers universe, okay? Now, with that being said, let's start by giving you guys a history lesson, and that is, well, first and foremost, I'm a G1 fan all the way. I know I've expressed a lot of excitement, enthusiasm, and enjoyment for the Michael Bay films, and I've spent years and years and years, in fact, 10 years talking about these Michael Bay films. That's a lot of time. And, you know, it sounds like I only love Michael Bay, but first and foremost, I am a G1 fan, and I will always love G1, and to this date, even though I haven't seen any G1 episodes in a number of years, when I do revisit G1, because I have the DVDs of them, I still love them. I enjoy the heck out of them. They bring me back to when I was a kid, enjoying G1. There's like this charm and something special about G1, regardless of the fact that it's very, very dated. It doesn't matter. It brings me back in time, and I love that era. And I feel like G1 defined that era of cartoons and just being a kid. You know what I mean? So it is definitely very, very special to me. G1 gave us 4 seasons. First 2 seasons was the best. Then we had the awesome Transformers movie, and then seasons 3 and 4 were a little bit weird. And after that, we had a few years of no Transformers ever again. Then we had Beast Wars. Now let's talk about Beast Wars, the cartoons. Okay, Beast Wars, straight up, I'll tell you, don't care about it. Do not care about Beast Wars. Okay, I couldn't get into it. We had that 3D CG animation, which was totally reboot style. And, you know, the thing is that I watched Reboot. I enjoyed Reboot. But for some reason, applying to that same style animation to Transformers didn't work for me. And I think it had to do with the fact that I just loved the G1 too much. I loved the animation style in the G1, like the 2D style of G1. And then when they translated it using a 3D CG animation, that didn't work for me. And everybody has their own preferences. Some people to this date, you know, even though they love the live action movies in general, they still can't get into watching cartoons. I'm one of those people, all right? Or animated films, rather, CG animated films. I'm one of those people. And it's kind of like how I felt about Beast Wars, because I did watch bits and pieces of it. I do remember watching a full episode which involved a character named Tankor. I believe there were several Tankors, and there was a couple, there was a couple of them chasing down the Autobots. In this case, the Maximals on Cybertron, and it was a pretty cool episode. But that's the only episode I remember. Now, the reason I did like that episode was because, like, the characters, we had characters like Tankor, which were actually Decepticon vehicles. You know what I mean? As opposed to the characters being animals. And I think that was partly why I couldn't get into Beast Wars. And it was because of the characters, whether it be the Maximals or the Predacons, transforming into beasts as opposed to cars. I feel like I had a stronger connection to the characters when they transformed into cars, because it made that concept of robots in disguise more evident. And with that concept being gone, with there no real humans around, that concept no longer exists, and that's why I had a hard time connecting with it. Therefore, it kind of lends to the solidification of the concept that humans do need to exist for this Transformers concept to work. You know what I mean? For me, at least, because in G1 it worked because they were robots in disguise who were they disguising themselves from other humans, and of course Decepticons, but still they were making them appear invisible to humans. And then one becomes friends with a human, and then that's where it becomes more relatable, at least for me. So that's why I really couldn't connect with Beast Wars, and that's why I really don't care about Beast Wars. Now, fast forward to 2012. Okay, 2012, I went to my very first Transformers convention, and then people started asking me about Beast Wars. They said, "Have you checked out Beast Wars?" And I said, I'm sorry, I haven't checked it out. Like, I really haven't watched an episode of Beast Wars. I don't remember too much about it, and it was something that I had a hard time getting into. And they're like, really? Seriously? Oh, man, you gotta check it out. And I said, yeah, maybe I'll give it a chance. I don't know, maybe if I have some time, I'll give it a chance, right? And that's exactly how I said it. But it's true. That's exactly what I told them. But they always said the same thing. Alex, you gotta check it out. The story is amazing. You will see. Just give it a chance, and you will see how well it ties in with G1. They always tell me that exact same thing. Well, in different words, but still, that exact same idea. And that is, it ties into G1 so well. And after that, fast forward to now, 2020. Recently, I came across some fan art, and then actually, it wasn't even fan art. It was a photo of these Beast Wars toys, and this photo was had some very, very good composition in it. And then I tweeted back at the photographer saying that, hey, I don't follow Beast Wars, but that is an amazing photo. That is a fantastic photo. And then Retro from Retro Nostalgia Nerd tweeted back to me and said that, Alex, you gotta check out Beast Wars. You gotta check it out. And I said, how many seasons is it? It's 3 seasons of Beast Wars and 2 seasons of the sequel, Beast Machines. But you don't really have to check out Beast Machines. Beast Wars it's essential. You gotta check that out. So I decided, okay, I'll give it a chance. So the fact is that I don't care about Beast Wars, but I'm convinced that I should check it out. Because after going to so many TF cons, okay, I haven't gone to so many TF cons, but I've been to enough TF cons I can count with one hand, okay? Everybody's asked me the same thing. Have I checked out Beast Wars? No, I haven't. Alex, you gotta check it out. That was always the response, okay? So at this point, after so many years, I will finally check out Beast Wars. And I guess in this case, I want to check out Beast Wars because it's a prerequisite to enjoying Beast Wars, the live action upcoming film. Now, you're still probably thinking to yourself, how can you still be excited about a Beast Wars film when you haven't even checked out Beast Wars yet? Well, I think that I will be more excited about Beast Wars than I already am after I've checked out the Beast Wars cartoons. But the fact is that I'm excited because of what Michael Bay gave us in the last 10 years. 5 movies, and he also produced another film, Bumblebee, which was directed by Travis Knight. Now, let's keep in mind that after so many years, 10 years later, since 2007, the very first Transformers film, essentially these films have a similar aesthetic to them. Essentially, you're watching the same thing again and again and again, at least for the first 5 films. Bumblebee was definitely different, but that was more directed at the direction and the story. Okay, we got something very, very different in the story, but the general aesthetic of the film is the same. But in the 6th one, Bumblebee works more for me because I grew tired of Michael Bay's vision. I still enjoy them for what they are, but The Last Night was the biggest disappointment in the entire franchise, at least to me. Okay, I'm sure everybody knows that by now. Okay, so why am I excited about Beast Wars when I'm not excited about the cartoons at all? Is because of that exact fact, and that is I'm really tired of seeing the same thing again and again and again for every movie. I want to see something new. Beast Wars is going to be something entirely new, at least I hope. And the fact is that I don't care what they do in this movie. I don't care about Beast Wars. I don't care what they do in the Beast Wars film. That is what makes me more so excited about it, because I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what to expect. I have zero expectations. So whatever they decide to give me is gonna blow my mind. Okay? Me being excited about Beast Wars is me being excited about the very first Michael Bay Transformers movie. I was crazy excited about it. When I saw the first trailer about it, okay, let's just go back in time a little bit more, okay? When I first saw, do you remember the first time you saw the trailer for Transformers, Michael Bay's very first Transformers film? That was crazy. That was the most downloaded trailer on the internet, because there's so many G1 fans that were like crazy excited when they saw Optimus Prime transform, and you heard that transforming sound, which was never in the movie, by the way, but it was still there. I lost it. I lost it when I saw that. I also lost it when I saw all those different transformations, and I saw characters I didn't recognize, but the fact is that I was excited about seeing live action big freaking robots transforming. That was something that was done in such a realistic way. Now that was 2007. Fast forward 13 years later, we're in 2020 now. This movie isn't going to come out for another 2 years. Think about how much technology and CG animation has evolved since then. They can make this look amazing. Now, they will have a big challenge in front of them, considering that they're not modeling these characters off of cars, tanks, jets, trucks. So this is going to be another challenge for them, and I'm excited for them to take on that challenge. So that's what's exciting for me, because I have zero expectations. I don't know what to expect. My expectations are neither low nor high. I just don't know, and the unknown is what makes me excited. It's mysterious to me, just like how the first movie was mysterious to me. So that's why I'm super, super excited. Now, I know there are a lot of fans who want to see stories continue. And by stories, I mean Michael Bay's story, his saga, which was cliffhanged with a Unicron. Okay, I know people want to see that story continue. I know people want to see Bumblebee's story continue with Bumblebee 2. And that's still happening. It's just not happening first, or at least as far as I know. Okay? Like, I would love for Bumblebee to happen. In fact, I think the Bumblebee sequel is going to make a great film. But it still has the same aesthetic as the previous film, which was Bumblebee and the other films, right? It still looks a little bit better, more G1-esque, but still, at the end of the day, it's still got the Michael Bay influences, which I have no problem with. But what I do really want to see is something entirely different. I'm just thinking to myself, you guys haven't watched the Michael Bay style for so many years, like so many years. Don't you want to watch something new? And some of you guys are thinking like, no, I don't. I don't want to watch something new. Well, then that's your problem, okay? I, on the other hand, want to watch something new. Hasbro and Paramount want to try something new, okay? And I agree with that direction. I think it's the right direction, and that's why I think that it's going to be. I think it's going to be really, really great. It's going to be a really, really great film if they make it work, right? You know, have a great writer, have a great director, someone who understands Beast Wars, someone who understands Transformers, and understands like visuals. You know what I mean? So I think it could be really, really exciting. Now, what I would like to ask, like, to the production, well, I don't want to ask them directly, but I'm asking myself, how are they going to make this work? Like, really, how are they going to make this work? And that's one of the exciting things to me. Okay, because I do remember Beast Wars enough to know that they weren't just all dinosaurs. They were a mix of all different types of animals. Like, as far as I remember, there's Rhinox, who was obviously a rhino, Optimus Primal, which was a gorilla or ape, Rat Trap, which is a raptor, and Tigertron were big cats, Air Razor, I don't know what he was, but I do remember that name. Silverbolt wasn't he a flying coyote? A coyote with wings? Black Arachne, obviously a spider. Megatron was a T-Rex, which is very, very appropriate, right? By the way, I love the idea of Megatron being a T-Rex. And Waspinator was a wasp. So, how are they going to make this work? I think that while they can make a great Beast Wars film, I think they're still going to end up pissing off a lot of the Beast Wars fans, because this is going to be a very hard way to pull off all these characters and make it realistic. Okay? Now, I've given up on realism. Michael Bay has always been talking about, okay, we got to make it realistic. I'm only going to make this film if we can make it realistic, okay? And by making it realistic, he put a lot of changes to it, which really pissed off a lot of fans. Like, for example, it wasn't always about realism, but things that he wanted. For example, he wanted to make Barricade a police car. Well, a police car should have been Prowl. Okay, he wanted to change the names of certain characters. He wanted to make Soundwave not a boombox, but a satellite, right? And he wanted to make Megatron not a gun, a tiny little gun, but make him into a giant, like a triple changing thing, whatever, a jet, Cybertronian jet or whatever, right? And of course, making Bumblebee not an old VW Bug, but a Camaro, right? So all those changes were made, and I think that with the Beast Wars live action film, changes are going to be made, okay? And I'm sure it's for logistical reasons, or something to explain a little bit more realism. For example, like when I mean that, how can they make this work? How can they make like an ape and a cheetah and a T-Rex and a wasp? Like, how can they all coexist in the same size? Or at least, how can a wasp be, or Waspinator may be a tiny wasp, okay? I don't know. I really don't care, But how can they make all these animals or beasts or dinosaurs coexist during that time, 65 million years ago, prehistoric era, these things never really existed, at least together. They existed in different eras, So that in itself is already a challenge. How can they make this work? And another thing, this is the second thing that I'm really concerned about. Are they going to make them, like, okay, let's just start with Optimus Prime. Are they going to make Optimus Primal an ape that is ape size, okay? And he's going to actually look like a realistic ape. Like, he's going to look like so much a realistic ape that you won't even know he's a realistic ape, okay? And then he transforms into a robot, and then you see fur parts sticking out here and there, like kibble, if you will, okay? Is it going to look like that, or is he going to be a giant mechanical ape, okay? So which is it going to be? Okay, is it going to be like a giant mechanical ape like we've seen in that concept art, or is he actually going to look like a gorilla, like one in the zoo or in wherever apes exist? You know what I mean? Or are they going to have Optimus Prime or Optimus Prime, an entirely different character? So how is that going to work? That is the big question, and that's why I'm super excited about this, because I want to see them make it work. I want to see them do this. I want to see them put their creative heads together, because this is one of the biggest challenges. I think this is even more challenging than Michael Bay's first Transformers film. All right, they used things like the Allspark and the Allspark Cube to make things big and small and challenge realism. Okay, will they still have that? So there's so many ideas. These are ideas that they can go in any direction. They're gonna make changes. And they're going to make these changes that are going to piss off the Beast Wars purists. And so I will spend the time to watch Beast Wars, and that way I'll know what kind of changes they have made for this upcoming film 2 or 3 years later. But at the end of the day, they will have to make changes. It is impossible to keep the story exactly the same when they already know that it's unrealistic to begin with. Okay, so I think that's something that the Beast Wars fans should really, think about themselves. What would they want to see, considering that this is a live-action film, is meant to be, with it being live action, is meant to be somewhat slightly realistic. So how can a T-Rex and a cheetah and a flying coyote exist? You know what I mean? So, but let me just wrap this around your head, okay? Scorponok is a scorpion. He isn't a tiny scorpion. He was a scorpion that was already a scorpion-shaped ant, like Decepticon. Okay, he doesn't have a robot form, at least as far as we know. All he has is scorpion form, and that didn't even require an explanation, and it worked. So does this all require an explanation? Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think everything needs to be explained. This is the unknown. It's science fiction. We're not meant to completely comprehend it. And sometimes if you explain something too much, it makes even less sense. Okay, this is fiction. It doesn't need to be spelled out for us, and that is why I say to myself that I don't care what they do in Beast Wars, because if they can make Scorponok work, where he looks like a scorpion, like a full-size scorpion, and they never explained that how did he get that mode, and that was one of the best scenes in the Transformers film, then there's no real need for explaining everything elaborately for how things work in Beast Wars. But I do still want to know the logic behind it. You know, just give me some explanation. I'll do my best to buy it. Okay, but yeah, there you go. Now, between Beast Wars and Bumblebee 2, which one would I want to see more? I want to see both, but I want to see Beast Wars first, because that is the most unfamiliar territory to me. Like, I want to see them take the Transformers concept and apply it to something entirely new. And that newest thing that is unexplored territory, uncharted territory, and that's Beast Wars. And I want to see them take on something a little bit more challenging. Bumblebee, on the other hand, is that, you know, you already have a blueprint in front of you. You already have the characters that you can use to work from, like Optimus Prime and Bumblebee and Megatron. So, you know, it's all there, right? So, let's do something entirely new. And let's open to our minds to something entirely new. And that's why I think that you should all be excited about Beast Wars, because these storytellers, you know, everybody who's working on this film, whether it be the writers, the VFX artists, the actors, or the voice artists, they have a brand new challenge in front of them, especially the director. Whoever the director is going to be, he has the biggest challenge, and that is to really make this work. Okay, this is a very, very big job for him, and it will all come down to him, because his name is going to be attached to this film, whoever it may be. I'm very curious to see who they're going to get as the director. Anyways, that's all I got to say in this episode. It's a big episode, but I just really wanted to explain my excitement for this film, and how that my lack of knowledge for Beast Wars has actually led to more excitement about this film. So there you have it. I hope I've opened your minds a bit about this film. I know that Beast Wars, a film about Beast Wars, has divided the fans. You know what I mean? It's really you can really see from the social media and the comment sections about how this film is something that some people are not going to watch, and some people are excited about, or some people don't care. But I think that you should care. And I think that you should support Hasbro and Paramount, because the more successful these films are, and by these films I mean all the Transformers films are, it will make them want to make more. And don't you want to see more? I sure as hell do, because I don't care what they do, whether it's Beast Wars or an adaptation of Transformers Prime or something a little bit more far out. I don't care what they do. I want to watch it, because at the end of the day, I freaking love Transformers in all its shapes and forms in this live action franchise. Okay? I think we should all support it. Anyways, oh yeah, one last thing is that we're stepping into a brand new era of films. Okay? So if you want to see it go in a more positive direction, if you want to see it go into something that's different from what we've seen in the last 5 films, which is explosions galore, if you want to see more story-driven, character-driven, more material that is based off of the source material, I think you should support these films, okay? Okay, that's it. That's all I got to say. As always, if you enjoyed this episode and you want to see more, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, Ragin Nation. My name is Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.